When you start hunting for a commercial-style range for a home kitchen, the first thing you hear is the warning about cheap restaurant-grade clones that look good on paper but end up leaving you with uneven heat, a flaky oven door, or a burner that sputters out after a few weeks. I've seen a lot of people throw away a few $100s on those budget units, only to regret it when the next big dinner party rolls around and the stove can't keep up. That's why I wanted to take a closer look at the OMCAN 47449 36-inch natural gas range before I decided whether it feels like a smarter buy or just another gamble. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the big question most people have is whether a commercial class range makes sense for a residential kitchen. The OMCAN model offers 6 burners and a convection oven, which immediately puts it in a different league from the typical 4-burner, single-oven home units. If you're the type who runs a side catering business out of your house, or you love cooking large batches of food for family gatherings, that extra burner real estate can be a lifesaver. On the other hand, if you mostly make 2-plate meals and have a modest countertop, the extra width and weight might feel more like a space eater than a benefit. The physical presence of this range is hard to ignore. At 36 inches wide, it will dominate the cooking zone, and you'll need at least a 36-inch cutout in your cabinetry. The depth and height are also on the larger side, meaning you have to make sure your kitchen ceiling can accommodate the venting and that you have enough clearance for the convection oven door to swing open fully. I've spoken with a few homeowners who had to rearrange their pantry and even trim a lower cabinet just to let the oven door clear a dishwasher door that sits across the room. That's a hidden trade-off that many retailers won't point out until you're already standing in the aisle. Now, let's talk about the burners. 6 burners mean you can have a wok on high, a simmering sauce on low, a pot of water on medium, and still have 2 extra zones for side dishes. In real-world use, the layout feels intuitive. The larger burners sit in the middle, perfect for big pans, while the smaller ones hug the edges, ideal for delicate sauces or a coffee pot. The gas flow on the OMCAN is strong enough that a 12-inch skillet heats up in under 2 minutes, which is a noticeable advantage over many residential gas ranges that take longer to reach a true sear. That quick response saves both time and energy, especially if you're juggling multiple dishes. The convection oven is where the range tries to earn its commercial badge. With a wide temperature range, you can set it low for a slow roast or crank it up for a rapid bake. I ran a quick test with a tray of frozen pizza, and the oven managed a crisp crust in about 10 minutes, which is on par with dedicated pizza ovens I've seen in small eateries. The fan circulates heat evenly, so you don't end up with a soggy center and a burnt edge, a common complaint on older, non-convection units. However, the oven's interior is stainless steel rather than a heavy-duty enamel, which means you'll need to wipe down spills promptly to avoid staining. That's a practical weakness for anyone who likes to throw a casserole in and forget about it until dinner. One of the things that often trips buyers up is the venting requirement. This is a natural gas model, so you'll need a proper gas line installed by a certified plumber, and the ventilation has to be compliant with local codes. If your kitchen already has a vent hood, you may be able to hook into it, but many users find that the exhaust capacity of a commercial range exceeds what a standard residential hood can handle, leading to lingering smells or a bit of smoke that lingers in the kitchen. It's not a deal-breaker, but it does add to the installation cost and complexity, something to weigh against the performance gains. Who should buy this range? If you're serious about scaling your home cooking, think weekly meal prep for a big family, a home-based bakery, or a small catering side hustle. This model gives you the workspace and heat control you need without stepping into a full-size restaurant kitchen. It also appeals to culinary enthusiasts who enjoy experimenting with multiple cooking techniques simultaneously. The 6 burners let you maintain a high heat sear while a low simmer cooks a sauce beside it. Moreover, if you already have a gas line and a robust venting system, the additional installation hassle shrinks dramatically. Who should skip it? If your kitchen is a tight fit, or you don't have a dedicated gas line, you'll likely end up spending more on retrofitting than the range itself. Also, if you're the type who cooks one dish at a time and rarely needs a convection oven, you might be better served.